What's going on, world? Coming at you guys again. We got another quick video. Heterosexual and homosexual relationships. Let's talk about it. So, trending on social media right now are conversations about heterosexual males being interested in homosexual females or studs or lesbians or gay women. And we've seen this become more popularized through the mentions as well as cinematography by a YouTuber named Big Jaw, the lesbian homie. It's pretty funny, but the reality of the situation is there is an individual who is prestigious in her own right. Her name is Young Ma. I believe she's a rapper, entertainer, artist of some sort. And she was doing a interview with Shannon Sharpe on Club Shay Shay, and they were talking about why men or some men have a vested interest in pursuing women whom are homosexual, whether stud or lesbian. And, you know, they were having difficulty with understanding and comprehending why it is a factor. And this also includes the topic of conversation about why it is so difficult for women in comparison to men to take accountability for their actions. So, if we were to talk about accountability for your actions, a woman is designed to survive and not through an aggressive means or combative means. We see this directly relatable to suicide. Women who engage in suicide statistically utilize a form in which is not as violent, aggressive, or messy in comparison to a male. And so when you talk about accountability, a male's entire purpose is to fight and die. That's what they do. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what we've been ingrained to do. That's what we've been psychologically developed to do through nature and nurture. So for a man to take accountability, it's second nature because it's competition. And that's what a man is designed to do in comparison to a woman. And when you look at suicide for men, well, men tend to take the most violent and extreme ways in engaging in suicide. So this is the notion of the differentiation between accountability for men and accountability for women. Now, the other topic that I want to talk about specifically is the interest of some men with a stud or homosexual woman. Now, a lot of people don't understand the psychological profile of a man who is interested in a homosexual woman, whether she be a lesbian or even a stud. Because when you look at the basis of psychology, when you look at the id, the ego, and the superego of a male specifically, well, an alpha male is an individual who is seeking out a partner in which is going to help them become the best partner possible. And that's also with a sigma male, right? A beta male has that same capacity, but they're not pursuing another individual opposite of their sex based off of the same notion. You know, when you look at a stud embodies the characteristics of a male as much as possible. And a male whom is looking for an individual whom can be the best possible partner, well, if they are a true alpha, if they are a true sigma, they'll look at a stud with serious consideration. Because the way it goes, iron sharpens iron. So if you have a male who is driven, who is class elite, and wants to be top tier, but knows how to engage with another individual that has the capacity to be a team player, well, that individual is going to look for a woman who embodies as many characteristics as possible that are similar to his own. And that would happen to be a stud. Now, the question is the stud willing to understand and have some form of leniency in their character development or personality, as well as the male will also have to have some type of leniency in their personality. And this is why I say you can have a alpha male and a lesbian, or you can have a sigma male and a stud, because these individuals would work well with each other. And then you could normally have a beta male with probably a more mature and older woman, because the older woman will take point. So, these are the considerable factors when we talk about how moving forward in life and trying to become the best possible unit as possible, iron sharpens iron. So when you talk about a man that's more than likely a sigma male that has a romantic interest in a female that happens to be a stud, well, psychologically, it's based off of the notion and it's based off of the psychological profile that he is looking at this as an opportune situation in which can benefit for both people with maximum opportunity as well as maximum growth. One of the biggest problems in that it's really recognized stereotypically is a man will make choices and a woman will make choices. And most often the choices the woman will make are wrong or incorrect, because that's kind of the way the world works. Most women aren't designed to lead. They're designed to follow. They don't make great choices. You see these type of videos all through TikTok, to where a man will make a choice and then a woman will go behind and make a choice and it's completely wrong. And the man spends the majority of his time trying to fix the problem without being able to progress and move forward. So, this isn't for all women, but this is for the majority. So when you talk about these type of relationships, these are the considerable factors. So the question is, when you look at trying to pursue a organic, ethical, and morally sound relationship, these are the considerable factors in which you must take into play. So if you happen to be a sigma male and you find yourself interested in a stud female, well, don't be alarmed, because that's probably your brain telling you that this individual is probably your best suited companion. And if you're a stud and a man approaches you with interest, you may not just want to shut him off, because you have already psychologically isolated yourself to only engage with other women, because it is very likely that you may not be seeing the forest for the trees, as well as you may be missing up the opportunity of a lifetime. Because just as a man will have struggle and difficulty when interacting and trying to facilitate a relationship with a woman by constantly being torn down because they don't see eye to eye, and one is a leader and the other one is just a toxic follower. Even a stud as a woman, you also have to deal with these women who are toxic and don't want to follow your leadership. So maybe this is a consideration that you need to take into play, because there's a common statement and saying in the black community to where they say it's, we were all kings, and that's illogical. But the question is, when you actually look at the key components of how often or frequent you see a sigma male and a stud female in a relationship, it's few and far between. And kings and queens are also few and far between as well. Food for thought.